All right, let's get into part one, building the frame for our DIY Caribbean Carnival costume. This is the foundation of everything, y'all. So let's start from the beginning. The foam board we used was a 20 by 30 inch and it was half an inch thick. And the thickness was a deliberate choice. You need something sturdy enough to hold the weight of all the feathers and fabric that are going on top of it. Too thin and it will bend under the pressure and the whole thing loses its shape. Now, if you're someone who travels with your costumes, I will be honest with you. This might not be the most convenient option because it does not fold down. But I mean, you could always box it up carefully and check it at the airport. Where there's a will, there's a way, honey. So here's where it gets real. We had absolutely no idea what size we were making these wings going in. No template, no pattern, nothing. We just looked at our inspiration, picked up a pencil, and started sketching directly onto the board. We used a ruler to keep our lines as straight as possible as we drew out the shape. And once we had something we liked, we went back in with a ruler to measure and make sure both sides were as symmetrical as we could get them. But I will say we did not stress too much about getting it perfect. A slight variation from one side to the other is not going to matter in the end. Once the feathers go on, all that gets covered anyways. So do your best, check your measurements, and don't let the perfect be the enemy of done. So now that the wing is sketched out and measured, it's time to cut. We're using a box cutter for this, and it works really well on foam board. It gives you the clean lines, good control, and it gets through that half-inch thickness without a problem. But before you start cutting, listen to me. Please put something down underneath your foam board. A cutting mat, an old piece of cardboard, newspaper, a towel, whatever you have. A box cutter will absolutely scratch or damage the surface underneath if you are not protecting it. Don't learn that lesson the hard way. So we go ahead and cut out the first swing. Take your time with this part, especially around any curves or angles in the designs. There's no need to rush. You don't want to make a mistake and accidentally cut something off. Let the box cutter do the work and guide it slowly along your lines. Now, and here's something I should mention. We were not just making one costume, we were making two. So once the first wing was fully cut out, we used it as the template to trace the wing for the second costume. No resketching, no remeasuring, just flip it over, trace it, and you already know it's going to match. Then we take the box cutter and cut that one out the same way. Slow, steady, following the lines. And just like that, both frames are cut and ready to go. Two costumes, same shape, same size. That is what everything else gets built on top of. It already feels like something, and we have not even added a single feather yet. Okay, so this next step, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. This was unnecessary, totally, completely unnecessary. And I'm showing it to you anyway because I made the mistake so you don't have to. After we cut out the wings, we went ahead and added jewelry wire along the edges and the middle to reinforce the foam board. The thinking was that it would add extra strength and keep everything sturdy. Logical thought, wrong execution. Here's the thing. Because we used the half-inch thick foam board, it was already more than strong enough on its own. It did not need any reinforcement. The wire did not add anything. It was just extra work and extra time that we did not need to spend. So if you're using the same half-inch foam board that we used, skip this step entirely. Save yourself the time and just move on. Now, if you're working with something thinner, a flimsier board, or a different material altogether to build your frame, then this might actually be worth considering. Thinner materials may need that extra support to hold up under the weight of everything going on top. But for what we used, not necessary. Learn from me, half-inch foam board, you are good. Move on. After we finished adding the wire, we moved right into covering the foam board with fabric, and I thought my camera was recording the whole time. It was not. The battery had died. So unfortunately, I don't have the footage of this part to show you, but I'm going to walk you through exactly what we did because it's actually one of the more straightforward steps of the whole build. Once the wire was done, we covered the entire foam board with fabric, both sides, the whole surface. And here's what I want you to know about the fabric. The color does not matter. How perfectly you lay it does not matter. No one is going to see it once the feathers are on it. So do not overthink it and do not stress about it. The only time the color or appearance of your fabric would matter is if you're planning to leave some of it exposed as part of your design. If that's the case, be intentional about what you choose. But if it's getting covered completely, grab whatever you have and get to work. What does matter is the glue. Use a lot of it. A lot of it. I use tacky glue and Gorilla Glue spray, and in between the two of them, everything was secure, flat, and tight against the board. Don't be shy with it. You want full coverage so nothing is lifting or peeling later when you start adding weight on top. And once it's glued down, leave it alone. I let mine dry for over 24 hours before moving on to the next step. I know that feels like a long time, but this is not a step you want to rush. If you start adding feathers before the fabric is fully dry and set, things will start separating and falling apart underneath, and you will have a much bigger problem on your hands. Let it dry completely. Be patient because in part 2, the real fun begins. We start layering out the feathers and bringing these wings to life.